Hi there, and today we're joined by Rosie McClune from the Gogobots, who is going to be talking to us about her new album. Thanks so much for joining us today.
No problem.
So it's a busy few months ahead for you, I guess.
It is going to be a busy few months. Yeah, we've, as you said, just with the album. The album's going to be, well, it's all finished now, so I think it's going to be getting released in the next, well, hopefully the next couple of months, and then hopefully gigging and touring it quite a lot.
So what was the thought? What was the background behind the album?
Well, we released, what we did was Gogobot. We got our own studio a couple of years ago, and we spent pretty much most of our time in the studio writing and recording tracks. And as a result of that, we released 6 singles. 2011, it was called. We decided to release 6 singles over the year, every 2 months, and it was called the Seesaw series. And if you've listened to those singles, they all sound quite different. They're all sort of there's sort of dance in there, there's disco, there's rock, there's electronica, there's pop. And, you know, we weren't really going for a particular sound, we just wanted really strong songs. And so we decided with this batch, for this album, that we wanted it to be a bit more, I guess, rounded and a bit more organic sounding. And, you know, it sounds a lot more like a band in the studio, just, you know, playing music, which is what we're going for. You
got involved with the Gogobots through a gig, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Well, I've known Gordy and Marco for years now, and I've worked with them both before. And then one of my friends was playing a gig up in Sucky Street in the Box, and I didn't realise that Gordy and Marco, they were already going as a 2-piece called Gogobot. And I walked into the Box, and just as I walked in, they were just about to start their set. And I was like, oh, there's Gordy and Marco. So yeah, then I watched them play, and I thought it was brilliant. Just the two of them had such a really powerful sound together. And then I got talking to them after the gig, and that's kind of how it came about. They said that they were looking for a bass player, and so that was me. And we were in the studio pretty much the next week.
It wasn't always music that you wanted to go into, but was it?
No, I wanted to be an archaeologist. For some reason, I don't know why, when I was growing up. So I kind of applied. I've always played music, like I played piano and stuff, but I never sort of saw it as a kind of career path, to be honest. It was just more fun. And then I wanted to be an archaeologist, so I applied to do that at uni when I was 17. But at the same time, I kind of didn't really know if I did want to do that. And then I also applied to do music at the same time. And I got accepted for both, so I thought, let's go for the more fun option, more exciting lifestyle. So I went and did music.
And you've had some excitement, haven't you? You've been playing with JLS and
JLS, played with them a couple of years ago in Edinburgh, which was an experience. And I've just been really lucky. I think like the stuff that I've sort of managed to get involved with has happened to sort of do pretty well. And I think as a kid, when you sort of think back to when I was sort of 15 or 16, just learning how to like play a D or play a G in my bedroom, and then suddenly you're sort of playing in front of like thousands of people. It's quite surreal.
And you've been to Tea in the Park as well. What was that like?
Yeah, I've played that. How many times? I've played that 3 times now. The first couple of times I played it was with a band that I used to be in called the Headrons. It was a punk band, and then I played it with Gogobot last year, and hopefully this year, fingers crossed. And that's just. Again, it's pretty surreal because it's your local festival. It's the one that you're kind of like, oh, it's in the park and all your pals go to it, and then you're playing it and you're like, no, I'm playing it.
And in terms of obviously your management, your record labels, how important have they been?
Brilliant. It was really important to us. I mean, I think you can sort of go so far on your own just as an act, but it's great to have backing and people that are sort of. People that know how to deal with things, that you wouldn't like book a tour and just get things organised, get really good support slots. It's kind of invaluable, I think, and also because we just want to focus on the creative side of things. So having people there that are really good at doing all the kind of business type stuff is really good as well.
So you're with the wet label management?
Yeah, we are with it. It's No Half Measures, based in Glasgow, and they manage Wet and Hue and Cry, and they're a great bunch of people to work with, and they're so on the ball with everything, and we're really lucky to have them.
So obviously you've been doing this for a good 4 or 5 years with Gogobot now. what's your sort of career highlights? What's been a good time?
Oh God, there's so many. Let me think. Well, I'd say the JLS. You have to say JLS, don't you? And we played with Simple Minds as well. And it's kind of support slots, I guess, that people wouldn't really expect you to do. But when, you know, there's 15,000 people there, you can't exactly, you're not going to say no to it. Your Simple Minds, played with the Sex Pistols as well at the SCCC, and toured America 3 or 4 times. And yeah, it's all been a highlight, I would say.
Has there been any sort of times when things haven't gone according to plan, or like?
Probably. Let me think. There's always something that doesn't quite work at some point, but you kind of just accept it. I think when you first go into music, you sort of think, oh, brilliant, playing music. But then kind of the more you do it, the more you realise that it's kind of, you hear people talking about this and that, what they're going to do for you, blah, blah, blah. And at first maybe you would get your hopes up about certain things, but then as you kind of get older and you do it for longer, you kind of realise that it's not always everything that it cracked up to be. But you still do it anyway.
So obviously fans have got some gigs to look forward to then, up and down the country.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be announcing some stuff quite soon. Hopefully I think we'll probably release a single from the album fairly soon and do some promotion sort of around that, and then when the album comes out it'll be hopefully full on.